All right, y'all. Welcome to the SRS call. My name is Frankie Femia. We have the amazing Devon Martin on with us from NLG, and we're excited today. Devon's got some big news for all of y'all. Um, so I'm going to shut up and get out of the way. If you need me, I'll be here, Devon. But thank you. I know you were just on a few weeks ago, but thank you again for taking time out of your schedule to share with us. Guys, before Devon hops on, if you could pick up your phone and text everybody you know, that's at FFL. Even people that aren't FFL, maybe they'll start working here after they hear Devon, but get them on this call. I don't. The only reason that you see people winning in this business is because they constantly work on growing themselves and learning more information and getting better. And these calls are purposed to do that. But without calls like this, I don't know if I'd be sitting here talking to y'all today. They've done so much for me and my team, and I'm looking at faces of people I know that have been here as long as I have, and I'm like, they would be here, they would be here. So just shoot a text out, go SRS calls on. Huge announcement today. Devon's excited. We're all excited. So Devon, without further ado, thank you so much. I appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, Frank. Hello, everyone on the call. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. Frank wasn't wrong. Out of any training I've ever had the pleasure of hosting and doing for you all, this is the one I'm the most excited for. And the 5 years, the 6+ years that we've been together. So the rumors are confirmed and true. National Life Group is going to be launching our simplified issue instant decision IUL. It's going to be accessible through your portal as far as illustrations and applications go on September 20th. Full transparency, you will see an email saying September 22nd, but that's because Saturday is September 20th. So we're just saying on Monday, but it will be accessible in your illustration and in your e-apps as of the 20th. And I know that you guys work weekends because you guys are hustlers and killers. So you will see that in your portal on Saturday. So I'm going to share a one pager and I'm going to keep it very simple and high level. And then there are about 5 or 6 takeaways that I want to discuss with you. And as I always say, this is our locker room. So there are going to be things that we have to address and talk about. And you can't say I never told you because it's probably going to be recorded. So I'm going to show the one pager and we're going to get into it. And let's kind of just take it from there. So share screen. Okay. So here are the details. So you're going to be able to do this on people as young as a juvenile. So you can be 2 weeks old and out of the hospital, and we go up to age 60. So ages 0 to 60, and the face amount is going to be between 50,000 and 500,000. So I do know that in the space, at least I'm very confident, the highest that you guys can go on the face amounts is 450,000. Nash Life Group allows you to go up to $500,000, and the ages are between 0 and 60. So I want to really double click and zoom in on this for a second. This is instant decision, meaning it will never touch an underwriter. We still have our great products. We still have our Flex Life, the fully underwritten products, which still go through the easy underwriting process. This is true instant decision, approved or denied on the spot. You're going to see one of 3 options after you submit the application. It's going to be congrats, you're approved, sorry, you're denied, or it's going to say you might be approved if you go through the fully underwritten product. So those are the one of 3 options you're going to see at the end of the e-app. It's going to have short questions. At most, you're going to have 27 health questions total. And that's if you answer yes to the reflexive questionnaires. Keep in mind there's knockouts, meaning that you're not even going to be eligible for this product. I'm going to get you guys all of the brochures and all of the marketing materials, and I have them up right now. So these are the disqualifying medical conditions. So don't bother submitting it because they're going to get denied. So you're going to have knockout questions. I'm going to give you verbatim what they are when I pull up my PowerPoint as well. But to recap, ages 0 to 60, up to $500,000 in face amount, or as low as 50,000, and we're going to have rate classes. The rate class is going to be standard at best, so you're not going to get preferred or preferred plus. It's standard at best. These do have the accelerated benefit riders. And for those of you that are not as familiar with those, the accelerated benefit riders, it's life insurance you don't have to die to use. So cancer, heart attack, stroke, terminal illness, chronic illness, all those riders are available on this product. Keep in mind, living benefits and accelerated benefit riders are 2 different things. I'm going to keep it very simple. Accelerated benefit riders are what I just said. It's the cancer, the heart attack, the stroke. The guaranteed income rider and all those other living benefits on our flexible or on our Flex Life product is not available in this product. It's just accelerated benefit riders. With that said, it still develops great cash value because you're with a great company that's been around since 1848 and we're 100% mutual. And this is really a protection focused IUL. You guys, this is your bread and butter at Family First Life. The timing for this launch and this rollout couldn't be better. So I'm just glad that we now have created a product to get this into your hands. So a huge shout out and a thank you to you all at Family First Life. So I'm going to pull up the PowerPoint, but before I do that, I'm going to hit in on the key takeaways and I'm going to intentionally stop sharing my screen. So here's the key takeaways, and this is the most important part of me talking with you guys right now. The initial premium, drafting the initial premium, it has to be the day after the policy's issued. So there's no delayed bank draft on this product. And I'm going to say everything twice because these are the most important talking points. There's no delayed bank draft. So if your client's approved and the policy issues, it's going to draft the day after it's issued. They can change their future premiums in the smartphone application and the portal, but you cannot delay the bank draft. The other big thing, you have to choose your index crediting allocations. So when you submit an IUL application right now and you run the illustration, it defaults to the highest allocation as far as the highest return. You have to pick your index allocation. Ask me which one is best. Whatever one is best, I'll tell you what you should have done this year. There's no way to predict it, but there is an easy drop down as far as what to choose for your index allocation. Most people choose the S&P 500. In the state of California, all of you that sell in California, you have to choose yes for the chronic illness rider. I'm going to show you guys visuals in a second. All of our accelerated benefit riders have no cost and they're automatically included. But in the state of California, you have to select yes to get the chronic illness rider. If you don't, your client won't have it on their policy. The other thing, the beneficiary does default to the insured's estate. The beneficiary defaults to the insured's estate. In order to change that after issue, your clients can just do it in their portal in the website. They can't do it on their smartphone application, but it's just a simple login to the portal and they can make that change after issue. The other thing is the writing agent is going to get paid 10% more compensation with this product. Can I get everyone to clap right now in front of the screen for that? Okay. You guys going to get paid 10% more with this product. So I'm going to show you guys visuals on what I just discussed inside of the PowerPoint, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. Yeah, thank you. You guys can talk about how great that is. I appreciate it. Okay, so these are the visuals of what I was discussing, and let's just get right into it. So why would you sell it with National Life Group over the competition? I already discussed that we can do it on juveniles. You're with a carrier who's the #1 provider in the IUL space in the market, and we just launched this simplified issue product. So it's the living benefits, it's the ease of doing business, it's the trust with a great company. We go up to $500,000 in face, and to my understanding, the competitors only go up to $450,000, and you get all of the accelerated benefit riders as well. So you don't really have a need to sell another carrier at the end of the day in the simplified issue space. You'll never hear me talk bad about my competition or my carriers, but this gets us, as far as National Life Group, this gets us into a target market that we've never been in before. So it gives us a bigger appetite to gain even more of Family First Life's business. So when should you pivot to a fully underwritten policy? I mean, it depends at the end of the day. Some clients want coverage right now. And the beauty of the simplified issue space is your clients and families get covered, and then you guys get paid a commission faster. So when to pivot to a fully underwritten policy? And I want to be clear here, fully underwritten doesn't mean an exam and an impairment. It just means that you're in a product that's going to ask you a lot more questions. So if you have clients that are okay and willing to wait a little bit longer to get a policy, which sometimes it might not take that much longer because you can get an instant approval, but if they want better cash value and simply a better product, that's when you're going to pivot to your fully underwritten policies. Keeping it simple, that's why you have previously used National Life Group before, is because you you have clients that have a need for a strong, good accumulated product. So whenever to pivot to the fully underwritten policy, you guys already have that experience. So this is going to kind of dig into the weeds, if you will, but I know that a lot of us are going to have those questions. So this gives you kind of that high level overview when it comes to the rapid decision IUL. And if there's questions in the chat box, I will address those in just a second. No secret to probably most of you, this is not available in New York. If you ask me when, I don't even have a time frame for you, but this is not available in the state of New York. It is available everywhere else. The policy protection period, basically, as long as the client commits to their required premium, the policy will not lapse within 15 years. So it gives you that kind of peace of mind to know that you have that protection for at least 15 years. And we do go down all the way to tobacco express rating as far as it goes with the smokers. So let's talk about the knockout situations, because this is really a big one. This I would have tattooed on your brain. Take a picture of it with your phone. Have this known, because these are your knockout situations. Our application won't tell you until the end whether you are approved or denied. It's not going to be great for your time or the clients to even consider an application when you're looking at these situations. So please make sure you have your knockout situations known and know when to pivot either to another carrier or simply just to not submit the life insurance application with them at all. So these are the knockout situations. So as far as illustrations go, it's still in the portal of where you run all of our illustrations. I have kind of a little secret and a trick for you. You as agents can actually run an illustration on your smartphone in the smartphone application for National Life Group. If you click save, it will save it on your phone and it'll be there in the illustration system on your computer. Here's why I want to focus on this for a second. It's going to save you about 3 to 5 minutes because an illustration can take a little bit of time to build and create. By doing it on your smartphone application, and when you go into your portal and go to the illustration software, it's going to have everything already completed for you. Then you can just click Take Me to the e-app. So there's nothing that you need to do inside of the computer as far as creating the illustration when you do it on your smartphone application. You can pick your interest crediting allocations, you can build the insured's name, the date of birth, everything. If you wanted to go into the illustration software, totally fine. I'm just trying to find you guys some time in order to save time on the application process. But as far as tips for illustrations, it's just like a regular IUL illustration. Choose your death benefit, your premium, build the information for the client as far as their date of birth and gender, and then you're able to go from the illustration into our e-app just like you're able to now. Our e-app is significantly shorter in comparison to our other products, obviously because it's a simplified issue product. So this is exactly what I was talking about in the state of California. You have to choose yes to chronic illness. It defaults to no. So you have to choose yes that you want chronic illness inside of your illustration software and e-app only in the state of California. So as far as choosing your interest crediting allocations, no one has a crystal ball. We can't predict the future, but we do make it easy. You can choose either to split up your allocations or just focus heavily on the S&P 500. Don't ask me which one's best, because otherwise only one would exist. But you do have to choose your interest crediting allocations when it comes to the e-app. So you guys know the process really well. That's basically the high level of what I wanted to cover for everything. So now I'm going to stop and I'm going to open it up for questions. And let me look at the chat box. So Andy asks a great question. As far as placement goes, there will be a separate category for placement comparing our fully underwritten products to this product. So I know that placement is a hot topic, and we will definitely make sure that we carve out a different placement category for this product and compared to our fully underwritten products. Albert, great question. Yes, there are renewals on this rapid decision. There's not rolling target. So there's rolling target on a fully underwritten. There's not rolling target on this product. What is rolling target? If your client has not paid the amount of premium that's higher than your commission, you're not going to get that after month 12. So in order to get the full target premium, your clients have to pay that amount within the first year of the policy. There is not rolling target on this product, but there are renewals. So I understand we can't designate beneficiary. Royal, that is correct. So the beneficiary defaults to the estate. You have to change it after issue. So as far as children with ADHD, it wouldn't really matter the type of product as far as Rapid Protect or Flex Life. I would say they could potentially get approval, but it depends on any medications that they're on. The medication's a big one when it comes to juveniles. There is level and increasing on the policy. One isn't better than the other, but there is the choice to have either level or increasing. And again, you all already know way more than you probably realize because this is still an index universal life policy. So it has a cap, it has a floor, it earns cash value, it has level and increasing. There's a death benefit. It's just another arrow in your quiver, a really nice arrow, if you will. Premium drafts immediate, but we're able to designate future. Yeah, Royal. So the initial premium will draft the day after the policy is issued. You can change the future premiums however you want after issue. Commission schedule is going to be the same. So there's not a same day pay. We still pay commission weekly, but the writing agent will get paid 10% more commission on this product. No term riders, Jess. Royal, it's a great question. It's going to be a day 2 fix. If we didn't have the beneficiary default to the estate, it would have delayed the launch of this product, which is something that we don't want to do. So yes, we are looking to change that, but it's going to be a day 2 deal. Yep, you can change your index allocation whenever you want. The product is more expensive. So Oscar, words are important and expensive can be relative. This product isn't more expensive. It's just that we're not taking on as much risk as a company in the sense that we're not asking more medical questions. So if you compare the simplified issue product to a fully underwritten product, obviously the fully underwritten product is going to have better cash value because we're asking a ton more questions than we are the simplified issue. So the simplified issue isn't more expensive, but it's not going to generate as much cash value because we're not asking as many health questions. So the underwriting is about the same. So is the underwriting about the same as the fully underwritten in the sense they get denied for simplified? Andy, good question. It just depends on the situation. So I would say the underwriting is similar, but not exact. And what I mean by that is you'll get that option potentially at the end of your simplified issue application. Your client didn't qualify for Rapid Protect, but maybe they're eligible for a fully underwritten policy. And what that means is basically maybe they were a foreign national for years with us in the United States, and we didn't have the ability to look at that client as closely as we could have. So by asking additional questions in the fully underwritten product, that gives us more clarity on their mortality and their health. So maybe we could issue them a policy. So the underwriting is similar, but it's not the exact same. Can the client post date? Can the client post date after the David? Full transparency, I don't understand your question. Can the client post date after the application is approved? If you're
So what
speaking
he's
to
saying,
draft,
what he's
go ahead.
saying, David, is the draft comes the day after the policy is approved.
Correct.
After the first draft, can we go, say the policy is approved on the 17th and you draft on the 18th and the client wants it to come out on the 1st? Can they change that draft date after the policy is issued?
Yep, you can change the future draft dates after the policy is issued. You cannot change the initial draft date. Unlike one of your competitors for the simplified issue being created. Brett, unlike one of your competitors for simplified IUL, is option B increasing available at the gate? Yep, you can choose option A or option B at the time of the application, and you can change it after issue however many times you want. Do the same way. Depot, yep, the cash value accumulates very similar in comparison to the fully underwritten IUL. Only the S&P 500 index allocation is going to be available on this simplified issue product. But yep, it develops and accrues cash value the same way as the fully underwritten product. Ronnie, can a juvenile get the accelerated benefit rider if they have a critical illness? So yes, if the juvenile is standard in health, which most probably are, and the policy issues and they have a life event, they will have access to the critical illness rider with this product. If the client gets you the might qualify fully written, how does that mean they will take a table? Okay, well, let me read this. If the client gets you the might qualify for fully underwritten, does that mean they will have a table rating more than likely? Not necessarily. mobile, Dale? Not necessarily. It depends on the health condition and other scenarios. They could even get a better rate class on the fully underwritten policy product, rather. It just depends. Does it transfer the full? So, Peyton, good question. You're asking good questions. It does not transfer the information from the instant decision to the fully underwritten product. You do have to start all over and do the fully underwritten product all over again. There is no carryover from the information. Interest growth bonuses. Yep, Shay
No
or
carriers have
Shia, I hope I said it right. There is interest growth bonuses in future years. Frank, go ahead.
No carriers have that option anyway. That would be cool for y'all to do that because it would make it faster, but nobody has that I'm aware of.
Yep, yep. Are you our rep in case we have problems or case? Ray, I'm your rep for everything, my friend. Too long can be relative. I will tell you with unequivocally guaranteed confidence, we are very caught up at National Life Group. Oftentimes, what takes a long time in the fully underwritten space is medical records or APSs. We truly can't do anything. Not to say that we're not perfect at the company, but my advice would be escalate things to your upline and then they can get with me. And to be clear, an escalation is an escalation. If I'm constantly asking our underwriters to expedite cases and put things ahead of the pile, it's going to be hard for us to keep with our service levels. So I would just ask to be patient. But if stuff is truly taking too long and you're pulling your hair out of your head, get with your upline and they will know how to contact me. Grace period. Yannick, good question. It depends on the state. Most states don't have a waiting period when it comes to the accelerated benefit riders. Chronic illness, you do have at least a 90-day wait because you have to prove that you can't do 2 of your 6 activities for at least 90 days. How long do you have to wait? Jess, good question. With an IUL and cash value, and this is in a general sense of an IUL, whenever there's cash surrender value, you have access to it. To be very transparent, these products are not created to pull cash value out in the early years. This is not a savings account. If your clients paid $1,000 and 12 months later they look, their cash value might not be $1,000 because the company's on the hook for a death benefit and we have to assess and count for that risk. So to answer your question simply, whenever there's cash surrender value in your IUL, you have access to it. But the longer you wait and the more you pay into the policy, the better the cash value is going to be. So to recap, no New York. I'm sorry, but no New York on the simplified issue product. We do have our fully underwritten policies, but not New York. Shay, so I can't answer that question as far as the maximum allow non-medical limits. Or I'm sorry, if you're referring to National Life Group's non-medical limits, good question. So, and I don't want to assume that I know what you're talking about, but if we have a client that applies for Rapid Protect and they issue a $500,000 face amount, you're able to go up to $3 million on our fully underwritten policies, depending on your age, of course. In that case, it's going to depend on the underwriter looking at the case, but they're probably only going to be able to get $2.5 million as far as the non-medical goes for that process. So to explain it even more simply, it's the lifetime of the insured. That's how your easy underwriting guidelines go. Good question. Will this give adjusted rate options that some tobacco use? Okay. So Peyton, good question. It does have different rate options. So if you apply for the policy and the client's not as healthy as what was submitted, we will offer a different rate class, but it would be more money. I hope that explains it. Can you give me a thumbs up? I can see you. Yeah, great. 2 thumbs up. All right, perfect. So it has accelerated benefit riders. Living benefits is our guaranteed income rider, fertility journey rider, all those other living benefits. This has accelerated benefit riders. I'm guilty of it too. I grouped the both categories, but this is accelerated benefit riders. Reggie, you can hit me with any question that you have, even if it's about contracting. We will have Spanish trainings as well. I actually have 2 Spanish reps underneath me that can host trainings. Has to be between 8 and 5, but we can definitely get a Spanish training call set up as well.
Devon's the only one that works 24/7.
Yep, it's true. No fertility benefits inside of this product. It's only the accelerated benefit riders. The living benefits and all of those bells and whistles, you have to go with the fully underwritten product with National Life Group. Okay, Royal, that's a really good question, and I'm actually going to share my screen and show you an example. So let's say that you submitted the policy and the client has a different rate class than what you applied for. Um, it's actually up here right now. So let's look at the right side. So if the plan premium is insufficient for the lower rate class, then it's going to delay it by 10 days. If the plan premium was sufficient, it's going to issue. So stay with me for a second. Your client applies for the application or applies with the application and they're approved. And the premium you put on the application is equal to or greater than the necessary premium we're going to draft. So client gets approved, the premium's good enough to pay for the policy, we draft the next day. If the premium is a lot higher than what was put on the application, we're going to do a 10-day notice because we have to. It's a banking regulation. We would not draft immediately. If the client's approved, but for a lower rate class and the premium is higher, we're going to delay that by 10 days. Don't think that we're able to delay the initial premiums by 10 days. This is only when the client has to pay more premium than what was put on the application. Okay, the chat box is really small, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can view it. Royal, keep me honest and tell me if that helps answer the question. Blanca, get with your upline and I can coordinate a Spanish training for you guys. You're welcome, Yannick. So since the coverage only goes up to 500K, I'm assuming there's no requirement for parents to have. So Andy, that's a great question. And you're exactly correct. So excluding New York, our underwriting guidelines lets the client, as far as the child goes, lets the child get up to $500,000 with coverage without the parents needing any coverage at all. So Andy, you're correct. This doesn't matter when it comes to the parents. I get the question a lot about children wanting different face amounts. And keep in mind, when I say children, it's younger than age 18. Hopefully, parents don't get different amounts of presents for Christmas. You have to equally insure children. I don't care what the scenario is. If they're 8 and 12, 1 and 17 might be a different story, but children have to have equal coverage. I don't care if there's a favorite child. I know most parents probably have a favorite child. You got to equally insure your children. You just have to. No way around it. Good question. As far as getting contracted, but you were with another IMO, FMO, if you haven't submitted business or you've been contracted longer than 6 months, you can transfer to Family First Life, no problem. If you're already with an agency with National Life Group, but you want to go to Family First Life, you have to wait 6 months and you can transfer without a release. Does it take it? So Royal, back to what I was saying. If the premium is not higher than what was put on the application, we're going to draft immediately. If the premium is higher, we're going to issue the policy, but it's going to delay the draft by 10 days. So as far as commission, your commission is target premium, period. I'm not going to explain it any further because it can get confusing. Your commission as an agent is target premium, period. And also, we pay commission advance if you're advanced, just like any other policy. If it's yourself, your own child, your sister, your brother. So on controlled business, we still pay commissions just as we would if it was a random client. Okay, thanks for the feedback. So as far as comp goes, we will be working on all the comp grids next week, but keeping it simple, once you know your commission level with National Life Group, just add 10% to this product, basically.
And FFL has a comp grid that has NLG products on it for whatever FFL level comp you're at. So if you go to your FFL level comp and look across the comp grid to NLG, just add 10 points to that number. And it will be on there at some point. As soon as NLG gets it to us, FFL will update the comp grid and we'll blast it out as well.
Okay, happy to take more questions, but I cannot tell you how excited I am for this. I can definitely give you guys my email address for trainings and everything. It's dmartin@nationallife.com. For those of you that know me, I am very responsive. At the same time, it takes a village, and I have a village behind me, so I won't be the one answering and doing everything for you all of the time, but I do have a lot of good colleagues and people underneath me. So happy to host a training for your team specifically, especially as we get closer to launch. But again, I'm so freaking excited. I cannot explain this enough. So in 2019, we did $100,000 together. Last year, we did $30 million. And that's all fully underwritten business. So it really is just the beginning, given that we're rolling out this product. And again, I got to give Family First Life a crisp high five. You guys were a big, big impact with us rolling out with this product. So I will see you guys at Ignite. Andrew, I'll pull up the how happy would make you? Yeah, if you start selling the pants off this product, I want you to sell all the clothes off this product, not just the pants. So I'm going to share the knockout questions because I do think those are very important. Um, let me see. Let me go back. Okay, knockout. All right, stop sharing. But what I can do is probably just post in the chat box. Yeah. Let me.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Cool.
I mean, and just I posted the link a little farther up of the YouTube channel that all of the SRS recordings go on. I'll do it again. So if you want to put it up there, Devin, for a few seconds, it'll be, and they can pause it and take a picture of it if they want to.
Perfect, man.
But they can
Yep.
go back and watch this over and over again. I don't even think NLG's really ready for the amount of volume y'all are going to get with a simplified issued product because this is a simplified issued company. I mean, we can pretend that we're simplified issued through and through. We want to get it done fast. We want to help people. We want to get them coverage tomorrow. So I'm excited because this is what one of the major IUL companies needed to do, and y'all did it first. So you'll probably get all of the benefits for as long as we continue to write these products.
I guarantee you we are staffed, hungry, and ready for every single application. I guarantee you. We did this the right way. We really did.
Yeah. Well, and that's a good thing. I think I love the fact that y'all draft the next day because to me, when you're selling these products, it's not like a $50 final expense policy and you're writing someone that's on a fixed income. These products are meant to build some value and for people that want to put a little more in a life insurance policy. And if they don't have $200 in their bank account today, they're not going to have it in 2 weeks. And even if they have it in 2 weeks, they're not going to have it for 12 months straight. So it's just a chargeback waiting to happen. And I know there's different mixed feelings about how draft dates go. And I'm not saying you should never do that, but for these types of products, dude, if you don't have an extra couple $100 in your account, you should really walk away. So I think that's going to help with the placement, with the persistency, and all the above. So that was a great call.
And I'll just leave you with this. I want to challenge you guys a little bit. Um, People that are in this business long term have a common characteristic, and that's doing what's best for other people. When you have a situation where a client is a perfect profile for a fully underwritten product, think about what you would do for yourself, your mom, your brother, your son, your daughter. There's going to be times where it's a better fit for somebody to be in a fully underwritten product. We still instantly approve cases up to 35% of the time in the fully underwritten space. And also, your target premium, your commission, is higher apples to apples on the fully underwritten product. So don't automatically pivot to the instant decision simplified issue IUL. It always depends on the client. So sometimes the fully underwritten policies can take a little bit longer to issue, but you also get a bigger payday and your client can get a better product if they qualify. So I'm just going to challenge you guys not to just completely pivot your business to the simplified issue space.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. And I love that because that's the mentality that I know I had for 14 years while I was in the field, 12, 13, 14 years in the field is I treated everybody like they were a relative, brother, sister, cousin, mom, dad, grandparent. And if you do it that way, then you don't have to worry about much. And this is an incredible business. If you just do the right things, you can have a long, prosperous career. But if you don't, you won't. And we've seen it over and over again. So all right. Well, we try to keep this to 35, 40 minutes. We're right at 35. Any parting words, Devin? So September 20th, which is a Saturday, it's going to be launched. You'll be able to write it for those of y'all that work Saturdays, which should be 99.9% of you. And then September 22nd is the launch is 9/20. So come 9/20, you guys should be writing this product and NLG should see a hockey stick spike in their volume, which is good because Devon's one of the best reps we have. He works his ass off. He's available. He's responsive, like he said, and we work with plenty of carriers that just don't respond. So we appreciate that, Devon, more than you know.
Of course, Frank. Come see me at Ignite, and I'm really excited to launch this product.
Thank you, sir. Well, y'all make it a great rest of the week. Monday, we have the builders call at noon. And then if y'all aren't on Sean's call Fridays at noon, I would get with your manager upline and ask them how you get on that call. But it's an amazing call that happens every Friday at noon. It's an open Q&A with Sean Mike every week. So don't miss that. Devon, again, thank you so much. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We'll see you next week.